When you were phasing out and starting to look for jobs not in engineering space, were your parents supportive?
Of course, they were not. They were not. What's happening? Like, we spent for your engineering fee, but not with this. You should have brought some placement in hand, but we didn't expect this. What are you even doing? And that's there. But yeah, it was very demotivating at one point. All that I knew is, I'll land up in the job that I wanted to.
Welcome to The Longshore, a podcast where we engage in open ended conversations about international education with future applicants, current students, alumni, and other stakeholders. I'm Yash, the CEO of Longshore Education, and your host today. Today's guest is Jyothi Bhavani, an MBA student at the Rochester Institute of Technology. Jyothi is studying at a 40% scholarship and is in the initial stages of her internship at GE Vernova, where she will be working until December as a product management intern. We talk about her educational background, her professional journey, from her beginnings in engineering to her transition into HR, and then finally into product management. She also gives us a few insights on networking effectively, the use of LinkedIn, and following your passion. Please enjoy my conversation with Jyothi.
Hi, Yash. Thank you for inviting me. I'm really doing good. And thank you for taking me out at the initial stages of my career. Thank you so much.
So I think we'll just start at early stages itself before your journey to US and all, like your educational background. You have a tech and engineering background. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, so I have done BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering from Lovely Professional University with an electives in IT Management and Advertising. I'm saying the names of the electives so that I can clearly explain why my transition has happened later on towards management from engineering.
So, in fact, my previous guests have all been engineering people who have done mechanical engineering, and one was from IT background. So, one of the things that we talked about was that how in India there is this push towards engineering, right? So did you feel that you were pushed towards the engineering, or was that something that you chose for yourself?
During my intermediate, I have given an option either to choose medical or to go towards engineering. That's all the options that I had. I still remember it was very fascinating to me to understand how this kind of I didn't know the term of wireless communication back then during my schooling. But then I understood from my seniors that there is a subject known as wireless communication in your third or fourth year. So if you take up ECE, it will be easy to understand those subjects, is what they suggested to me. And that's how I was keen on taking up ECE. My parents were not so okay to get me into mechanical or civil because what they were expecting at that time. So
I was going to say that it's same thing where if you are taking science, if you are taking maths, then you go towards engineering. If you are taking bio, you go towards medical, and the rest we'll figure out later. But that is the path. There is no other.
Yeah, because of the typical Indian parents and not much awareness of what other programs are available back then. This is what I also initially was put into.
You did it.
Yeah.
Did you go straight after 12th class, or did you have a gap year or anything like that?
No. I didn't had any gap year, and that's when the search started for me. And then I came across LPU, and main reason is the curriculum. As I was telling, I have done my electives in advertising and IT management. So I had this option to choose electives of my own interest in my fourth year, which are not related with the technology, so that you can understand what those subjects are. So we had an option to choose out of 12 electives. And not just that, in my third year, we had an option to choose wireless communication. We had an option to choose general communication, even digital communication, and many more. I think LPU has taught me to choose what I actually love, to understand my passion. So
Instead of being pushed towards something at LP, you found yourself pulled towards something and made your own efforts towards.
Exactly. And I should be thankful to LPU for designing such curriculum so that students will be able to figure out what their interests are going ahead in the future. For example, I still remember one of my assignment in advertising was to design a video ad, or it can also be in the form of printed ad. use your creativity. There are no restrictions, just your creativity. And I didn't know what management is like. So management happened to be one of the core subject in my second year. And also because of that, I chose IT management later as an elective. It also gave me confidence to believe on whatever I'm choosing is not wrong. You can still explore a career there as well. It can be a niche. The market can be a niche in terms of jobs, but then if you have a talent, if you have a passion, you can get there.
It was overall a positive experience, a very
Yes,
positive experience.
definitely, definitely. I highly recommend to all those students, just don't go with the ranking of the university. Rather, interact with the alumni, interact with the students of those universities, understand why you need to do that program. When you read a course, when you read a subject, is it interesting for you? I mean, are you loving it? Are you okay to sit for the subject and study straight 12 hours? Like, is that
Correct.
making you feel alive?
How was LPU in terms of study culture?
I think, as I told about the curriculum, I would say it has given me a platform not just focus on academics, but also in your extracurriculars. And
Right.
also from the initial stages, it has been designed in such a way that be unique, don't follow the crowd. Doesn't matter whether you're taking engineering, doesn't matter whether you're taking interior designing, doesn't matter whether you're taking pharmaceutical or any kind of course. As you know, LPU is vast and the program curriculum is also extremely vast. Even the faculty there, they encourage you to be not just in the academics but also extracurriculars. So they let you live, they let you decide, they let you choose what you want. It's up to you, but LPU will help you in making a difference from the very first year onwards.
So the resources are there, but
Yes,
you need to like
definitely.
make use of them.
Of course, of course. And the faculty or the seniors, they will definitely push you to be there because the campus is super large and the events are promoted such that every student in the campus is aware what's happening in the university. It's fun. So nothing to be scared of. It's okay to explore.
So how was the off-campus? See, in terms of placements, of course, the companies come, you have to sit for the placements. There is a regimented structure to go about it. How was the experience applying for off-campus jobs?
It was very tough. It was my own decision on just to come out of the crowd. I mean, it was very hard because when you are in the campus, there are 500 other people competing with you for one single role. But when you are doing it off campus, you have 10,000 people competing for the same similar role. At the initial
Correct.
stages, I used to visit the company, just do some walk ins because I was not aware of how to proceed with this process. But when I started doing my research, I understood there are some tools which can really help students, such as LinkedIn. So I used to go look for the jobs through LinkedIn, through Indeed, through Naukri.
When did this transition happen? That when did you decide, you know what, I will not do engineering, or at least I will not do core engineering. I will go do something else, even though I will finish my degree. Engineering by itself is not something that I am interested in.
I was interested to do something specifically towards satellite communication. But when I used to work for the advertising course, I realized I can spend hours and hours.
L- Like you said, you could think of yourself studying 12 hours for advertising, but not
Yes,
for engineering.
yeah, yeah. And despite my love towards satellite communication, when I saw whatever the job opportunities are available, I couldn't even understand. I mean, like, I didn't even know what kind of certifications would help me to land a job directly into satellite communication or else even in the wireless communication. I didn't had any resources to ask about, to talk about, or anybody to guide me on that also. All that I knew was prepare for exams that are related with ISRO, some other government organizations. But what about the private industry? Are there any companies hiring for satellite communication students? Are there any companies that are paying equal pay what a computer science engineering or ECE graduate is actually getting in the market? I couldn't really find anything. So I wanted to root towards management. That's when I decided I started doing some courses, some certifications, which had some assignments to do. I had got enrolled into one course by LBS. I think it was through, I don't remember. I think it was through EDX. Yeah. It was a 1.5 months course, which I finished in 15 to 20 days. So I understood I can spend as many as hours if I'm doing whatever I like. And not just that, I still remember applying for internships through Internshala. So through Internshala, I got into one internship with United Nations to design an ad. So I got to know it is very interesting. It's making me feel good. I need to work more on that. And that's what had happened.
When you were phasing out and starting to look for jobs not in engineering space, were your parents supportive?
Of course, they were not. They were not. What's happening? Like, we spent for your engineering fee, but not with this. You should have brought some placement in hand, but we didn't expect this. What are you even doing? And that's there. But yeah, it was very demotivating at one point. All that I knew is, I'll land up in the job that I wanted to. It's just that I need a beginning. That was hard. LinkedIn became my friend. I still remember I used to use almost 10 hours LinkedIn per day, straight up till almost 8 to 9 months. I used to read the articles, whatever the people are writing, like for advertising. MICA is one of the top most in India.
Yeah.
So used to go through MICA students' articles posted on Medium and used to do some research about that just to understand the student insights about the subject specifically. I still remember doing another additional course as well that was related with branding itself completely. I didn't know what branding was. I just know advertising. There are two different types of branding, is what I realized. There are employer branding, there is, which is like management branding, and there is marketing branding. So while I was doing this course, that's when I started applying for HR opportunities as well, along with the brand management opportunities too. So, yeah.
So that business alignment certification from London Business School was after university or during the university? Or
After the
these kind of
university.
programs that you were doing? So how long did it take you to get a job after finishing your graduation?
So I used to do this kind of virtual internships, online internships. So it took me almost 1 year to land a strong core internship. So yeah, it was pretty tough
Which one was this?
in OnePlus.
Oh, in OnePlus. So how was that?
Yeah. HR was very new to me because I was learning more towards this branding, advertising, and management kind of stuff. But I understood one point while I was doing this course, every function in the management, especially towards marketing, HR, they have some interconnection. And there is, it's just the applicability is different. As in HR, my customers are the primary applicants and the teams that I'm hiring for. Whereas in marketing, it's the consumers that are consuming my product or customers. That's what I understood back then. I didn't plan on aiming for certain XYZ companies or anything. Back in Hyderabad in 2018, we have a Telangana hub. It's a incubation center, which is run by government. I used to learn about what companies are coming newly to Hyderabad. Larger companies, medium companies, started applying for everything. In the same way, one day when I opened the newspaper, I saw OnePlus is setting their facility in Hyderabad. As you know, LinkedIn has been my best friend. I started connecting with a couple of recruiters at OnePlus, which I've been doing for the startups as well. But fortunately, one of the recruiter response said that there are few openings. Go to the careers and just apply. We are actively hiring. And coming into my experience at OnePlus, I have worked across different functions of the HR, including campus hiring. Also, I led a couple of programs that are related with the campus hiring itself, where I designed curriculum for the IIT students. I was actively working with the global campus recruitment teams also. So yeah, that's a quick brief about my experience at OnePlus.
And how long were you there?
8 months.
And was there a full-time role that you wanted to go into after that, or just a?
It was a full time internship role. Initially, I expected there is a chance for conversion, but then they didn't. The team didn't had or need or requirement back then for a full time role. So I was out of the organization despite getting like good appreciation. So
Mhm.
it was really unexpected. Then I started applying more for the other opportunities towards HR itself because now that I explored different functions, because in campus recruitment you can also work for the branding of the company, you also work on developing the strategies for the campus recruitment, campus drives. While I was working with the students, I still remember when I was interacting with them even during the interview process or with the new hires, I see a kind of passion in them. So that's what I love the most. And I started working towards campus recruitment from then.
And how did you find your next job?
It's again through a LinkedIn. So Ivy happened to me when I was looking actively for a campus recruitment job. They approached me for a sourcer role, but when I expressed my interest towards campus recruitment, the team had a need and requirement for the same role, and they wanted to get me interviewed, and that's how a campus recruiter role has happened with Ivy. Yeah.
And that was also a positive experience.
It was fantastic experience, I must say. Like I found my mentors in Ivy, and I understood difference between the company cultures, and I also understood for an employee how a culture of the company actually would make a difference for them to sustain in the company for a longer time.
HR also has a huge role in that, in creating that culture.
Of course,
Of the company.
that's what. Yeah, sure. That's what. Like it was really good because of the team. The transition was not difficult. Everything, the process was very smooth for me from the initial stages onwards. The company was flexible enough to care about the employees even after post COVID also. I would say got very good mentors who actually strongly believed in me, who built confidence in me.
So where did this idea of, perhaps I should study further come
Yeah.
across?
So I remember in whatever the organization, everybody in the team had an MBA. I was that one person who didn't have an MBA. Even during my internship, I am the first HR intern in the Hyderabad R&D center of OnePlus, and I am the only HR intern in R&D center with no MBA. So I understood overall in my career, if you have an MBA, you are kind of given a preference in some companies. And if you do not have an MBA, I mean, I felt the difference. Luckily, I was in Ivy. Luckily, I got very good managers who said you can do it. So
So you are now have done your engineering. You have expressed a desire to get into this management space. And even though branding and advertising were what you were initially, focused on, later once your career began, it began in HR space, right? And then that was also a very positive experience. You learned a lot. So this whole need for a formal business education, this began at the OnePlus stage itself. So like as soon as
yes,
you,
yes,
oh,
yes.
okay.
So as I was saying, like I was the only student who got hired at R&D Center, like non-MBA student for an HR intern position. I still remember I felt I've been treated separately. Like the other MBA students were given more preference for few duties, for few responsibilities, which I was not given. Neither I was encouraged to do that, neither I was given a chance to learn about it. Sometimes I used to question, though you know that I'm not an MBA student and if this position demands an MBA, then why not? And also, I remember one of my HR manager telling me, "You don't look like an HR at all."
What is an HR supposed to look like?
Like, I look like a student, I don't look like an HR, is what he was referring to.
So you're supposed to be older? That
I didn't know that too, but that's what I'm saying. It depends on, that's how the wrong culture is. Like, so it's important for you to understand, or as an HR, to build strong culture within the organization such that every employee feels safe, feels better, feels happy to stay in the organization for a longer time. So I have decided that I need to do an MBA. I don't want to be questioned about my knowledge about any subject. And also, I have realized MBA grads are paid little bit higher than non-MBA grads if you are working in the same department, doing the same job as well. So it makes a difference then.
And as you said, you had an interaction with other multifunctional, multi-purpose teams, and then realized that you don't understand, how to read a balance sheet, don't understand finance. Even if product management was not something that was the priority at that stage, it
Yeah.
was something that you have decided now. So
Yeah.
definitely MBA is the right way to go. So
Yeah.
when did you think that, now that I have decided that MBA is the way to go, abroad is where I want to do it?
So, when I was interacting with the global teams as a part of my work, I understood there is a difference in the work cultures. Maybe I thought the easiest way for me to get a job in abroad is doing an MBA outside. And not just that, the MBA fee, like if you talk about IIM's MBA fee, it's super high now. Like it's quite high. I cannot afford such a high fee because I'll be getting the same degree from one of the good university in abroad itself. I felt like it makes my goal more closer to me if I do my MBA abroad.
And did
Yeah.
you consider any countries apart from US or only US?
I wanted to go to UK initially because I did a course in LBS, but then I didn't have a clear understanding of the job market there. And also, I heard it's way more competitive. In USA, you have like about 50 plus states. You have at least 20 cities that have a huge job market. If it is like UK, you have London, you have a couple of more. The job market maybe is the same, but there are so many candidates in UK who are looking for the same job. And it's
Hmm.
too tight to compete with such candidates. Like in UK, if I had 4 university options, in USA, I had 10 university options to choose from which have
Hmm.
the same rating, which have the same curriculum, then why not I
Hmm.
choose USA? Any country is new to me. I'm going to any
Hmm.
country to learn. So it doesn't make any difference to me.
Before you worked with me, you did the application process before as well, right?
Yes, I did. So at the initial stages, I went through some other this traditional way of applying, consulting some counselor near my place, and just whatever the list they are giving me. Apart from that, I have done my research of whatever program I need to go and whatever the universities that I wanted to apply. But my counselor she was not confident enough, and she was not even giving me confidence. Okay, it's okay to apply, or she was not suggesting me good universities. It's just like easy universities where you can get into.
So the one of the things, I mean, I don't know how comfortable you are talking about this, but your GPA was a concern even when you started working with us as well.
Yeah.
Uh, we can work on that. Like we can see that, okay, fine, you need a GMAT of 720 plus at this point at
Mm-hmm.
least for a top
Mm-hmm.
MBA admission or something. Then you work on that first, and then you're like, okay, now you need one of those really high level jobs. So you try to get the student to apply for that. When you're working on a shorter time scale where you have an experienced professional who wants to go, you have to really think that because we cannot change the GPA. The GPA is the GPA, right?
I totally agree at that point with you, Yash. But what I mean to say, apart from GPA, there are other things that a university will consider also. But my
Of
counselor,
course, of
and
course.
also not every counselor gives similar guidance. Like I still remember you gave me a confidence which I was like depriving back then. But before that, I still remember my admissions. Like while I was applying to the universities, also my counselor encouraged me to apply on round 3. So
Uh,
not just that, that's what I'm saying. I worked across whatever I can do in building the essays, everything. I was not targeting for only universities such as Duke or something like. I was
hmm,
open to hear your suggestions. Like when I interacted with my past counselor, I still remember I interacted with her to give me a list of colleges. It's not like I just wanted to go to any university. I thought I could do engineering
hmm,
management because my counselor was saying MBA is like it's little hard for you to do right now, considering the situations because the fee structure is too high. She didn't tell me there are options for scholarships or whatever it is. Didn't get a proper guidance from her. So she
MBA actually
demotivated
has
me.
MBA actually has far more scholarships than
That's
engineering.
what that's what I realized it when I was doing my research. So I didn't had enough time. I wanted to go by fall. So I approached her like in Jan. It was too late from my end as well to approach a counselor in that short frame. But when you cannot do it, do not commit to the student is what I say.
Hmm.
At least give them a response, give them a good guidance. I still remember I had that 10 college. I haven't heard most of names, like some university in New Hampshire, some
Okay,
other
yeah.
universities, which I really haven't heard. I didn't know, does they really have an engineering management program? No, I don't know anything. Once my applications were set, I still remember asking her, I paid for every university. The application fee for Duke was very high. I applied for
Hmm,
USF also on the last day of the application process
hmm,
for engineering management. If I'm not right fit for a program, tell me. I'll listen to your input.
hmm,
But then when a student comes to you, they are coming for a help. They are coming for a
hmm,
clear guidance. And I
hmm,
paid for the counselor also.
hmm,
So I got once I applied as expected on round 3, every
hmm,
application got rejected. I still
hmm,
remember ASU. I told her
hmm.
I'll apply to that. She discouraged me. No, it doesn't work for you. After all continuous rejections, I didn't understand what was going wrong with me. What What is wrong?
Sorry, this is a bit of a specific question, but which program
Yeah.
of ASU?
Technology management.
Because they don't have engineering management. That they have
Yes, I know.
management of technology.
Yes, yes. It's Masters in Technology Management and Entrepreneurship. I wanted to apply for that and I wanted to apply for MBA also. For fall, they have an MBA opening, but my counselor discouraged. I didn't apply. So, didn't understand where to start. I thought, should I really?
You are also working at this time.
Yes, I was working simultaneously and didn't understand what was going wrong. Where am I doing wrong? So one day I thought I started my research also, like what other programs that I can apply for. I started interacting with some alumni from the respective universities. I talked to a few people in UIUC, USF, and everyone. So I got some idea of all the programs in the colleges. I started going to the college website. Okay, now fall is gone. Can I apply for spring? I applied for technology management and entrepreneurship for spring at ASU. Had already all my essays, all my SOPs, everything is already ready. It's just that I need to change it according to the ASU program. I changed it. I still remember I applied at 3 a.m. in the morning to ASU because I was not able to sleep. I was just like, what am I doing in my life? And I applied. In 15 days, I got acceptance. I was like, that was a confidence builder in me. Okay, it's not that I don't have potential. It's just that I was not given a proper guidance. ASU is not an easy university to get into. And technology management is also a very good program. It's a STEM program that too. And I was very happy. Like I started believing again in me and started researching more about MBA programs. I thought, okay, now let me not do MEM. Already I wasted 6 months. I wanted to do an MEM because the way I had this interest towards going towards product management and further in my future. So I can get into product management if I do an MEM. This is what I have a little clarity about. Okay, I was thinking, if not MEM, what other program? So I thought MBA. And I have my experience. This will be an advantage to my MBA also because I have a little understanding about the industry. So why not let me explore for an MBA program? I started looking for the application. Unfortunately, I was not able to find much of the spring applications for MBA back then because I still remember after COVID, the first batch that went was for fall, like right after the COVID. So there were huge applicants that year for fall, and a few colleges they didn't take any applications for MBA in most of the college. So I hardly had 2 to 3 options with me. Didn't know much about those universities, and I started researching like what are the other platforms who can help me to guide me because I was losing my money on spending the counselors. I chose this counselor after getting reviews from few of my close friends, but that didn't really work for me because they are looking for the traditional CS masters programs. I was looking for MBA. Not all the counselors will give a proper guidance on MBA. Few people will directly tell like I am majorly focused towards this kind of technology programs, not for MBA. You should get into the MBA kind of counselor. So I started researching about what are the other platforms that can help me to provide some guidance. And that's how I approached you. It's like you gave me more confidence. No, you can try. You can still try on. It's not like you're not giving up. You got one already. Start applying for RIT, and you also helped me to apply for the other universities. Even when, if you remember, I sent you my SOPs. Like there was immediate response from your end, also from your team, also. Like, they saw this. These are already working. Why not apply quick? Am I doing the right time? Is it the right time to do an MBA or not? I am already facing a rejections list of rejections from MEM. But MEM program, all the universities that I was interested into, everything gave me a rejection just because they didn't had a proper guidance. Frankly, to say, when I told Yash, do you think like am I like if I postpone like for a few more months?
May I just say something? Like,
Yeah,
when I saw your resume, I thought you should not be applying for engineering management. Engineering management is for engineers, not people who are trained as engineers and now working on something else. That alignment was not there between course and student. If that misalignment is there, universities are like, you know what, we'll go with another candidate. That's what ends up happening.
Yeah, yeah. And I remember asking you the same question, am I doing the right thing, like MEM and MBA? You told me, like, you convinced me in a way by giving me the exact guidance that is required for me at that point in time, which gave me surety, like, okay, whatever I'm doing now, I'm doing right. It's just that I need to apply, and that's how I got into MBA at RIT. Even RIT was very quick to give me a admission letter. I still remember I got another letter from University of Delaware for STEM MBA itself. If you remember, we hardly had only 4 to 5 colleges to apply for that year. Like for MBA, for spring, it was pretty less. But that,
With the spring intake and with the business programs of the cohort
yeah,
system,
yeah.
they just don't begin that much in spring. They're mostly in fall only. Everyone starts at the same time, everyone ends at the same time. Business programs frequently, or it is not uncommon for them not to have spring intakes. So yeah.
Mhm.
And
Got
you got
it.
a big scholarship at RIT also, right?
Yeah, I got 40% scholarship. When I was doing just the quick research before approaching you, I knew that scholarships will be given. But you said don't leave any chance to apply for scholarship while I was applying my RIT application. It was like, no, you should apply. There is a chance. Don't just think you won't get it. Give it a try. And that's when I started applying. Yeah, I got good scholarship. That is one of the reason that why I chose MBA at RIT. Just not for an MBA, but also it gave me more confidence. Like I can afford this. I can study this.
So then your journey comes to RIT. You got an acceptance, you got a good scholarship. Now comes the actual part of having to depart. How was that?
So the relieving process from the company, everything went very smoothly for me. Unfortunately, I had a bank issue, which went up till the last moment that I was traveling because I didn't had funds to travel overseas. So I didn't know what to do. So just during 13th or 14th, I got my sanction letter. I didn't even wait until the money is like, put into my account. I started booking my flight ticket. It's like tonight I have booked a flight ticket for tomorrow, and I did 4 to 5 hours of shopping, whatever I could take, whatever is needed, and I flew. It was just like I'm going to some friend's place. I'm just saying bye. Okay, I'll come back. It was. I mean, like I didn't had that time to realize I'm going to another country for the very first time in my life, and it was very fast. It was very fast. I haven't heard anybody doing a 4 hour shopping and in fifth hour you'll be in the airport or something like that. Yeah, and the day I landed up New York at midnight. I knew where I'm gonna stay. I knew my housemates because I connected with them before coming once. So that process also went smoothly. It was a peak winter back in Rochester. So woke up in the morning when I was going to the college. That hit me hard. Like then I realized, why is everything white? I can't see anything. It's like all covered with snow. It felt like I'm in Narnia. What's happening with me?
You did not get a chance to really process it. You just went
Definitely not.
straight into the
Definitely not.
action mode.
So it was just like I was not able to realize, okay, I'm actually applying. Like I applied, sorry, I got an admit from other country, not in this country. So it took me at least a week to process after coming here.
So how has that been?
It's been a long time that I was like, I finished my undergraduation, back to college, back to academics. Like, I remember opening my laptop, starting Teams meeting early in the morning, like 9 a.m. meeting. That's a go to for me from few years. Now it's like I need to catch my bus, go to my college, start my first class at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. So it felt very different for me. And then studying as a student in India, it's different. It was different. Like I did my undergraduation there, but I didn't work as a part-time worker on campus. So here, along with your studies, you need to work as a part-time employee and managing your finances, everything on your own.
What have you done at in terms of part-time work at RIT?
Yeah, so I started my part-time job as a summer conference assistant, supporting RIT housing initially. I worked there for the entire summer of 2023, and then later I started working as a graduate assistant.
So the first position that you got, did you have to like? I mean, see, you were already someone who was from the recruitment space. So did you feel like you had an advantage relative to the other international students in terms of getting that job, or was that also a new experience? trying to get hired as a part-time worker in an American setting?
It's definitely from the scratch. I had already
Okay.
existing resume which I have used for the application processes. So I have
Mhm.
used the same resume for my part-time jobs also. I don't know if I have discussed this point with you or not. Even before coming here, I used to apply for graduate assistant roles. Like I used to write cold mails to all the professors at RIT from November onwards. A few of the professors were interested in hiring me after coming here. And so I used the same resume while I was sending to them. I remember when I got my ASU admit, it happened because I applied way early.
Yeah, of course, that
So,
matters.
yeah, so I understood anything you're working on, any jobs, it's like you need to be prepared. You need to develop your strategy for jobs 1 year ahead. You need to start researching about the jobs. You need to start researching about companies. Like anything in USA, you cannot apply at the last moment. Even the medical appointments also, you need to apply, take it way early here. So
Correct.
similar thing I'm applying to my career. I try to apply a little bit earlier and for GAs also from November itself. Like we have a career connect. So with IT, it's like a job platform. So every student have an access to that. Student can see on campus jobs available. They can apply. They can do that. But I didn't know much about Career Connect back then. All that I knew is I need an assistantship. I have a recruitment background. Researched about the professors, cold mail to them, tell how I can help them, learned about whatever the research they are doing. There are some links for every professor. Go to the links, study about, find if there is related.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which professor did you work with for as the assistantship?
So I started working for Professor Dr. Richard D. Martino from August 2023. So, I mean, like I have two jobs. I had two jobs from August 23. I worked one for career services as a graduate assistant, supported the career advisors on job research. Also, during the career fairs, we have two career fairs annually at RIT, a major career fair. So I supported the career advisors on resume reviewing, helping the students also to screen their resume. While the others that I worked for Professor Richard D. Martino. So it's
What was the like? Which of those was more of a learning experience for you?
it's different experiences in both. One is learning because I'm reviewing it to students. I'm telling them to improve, how they can improve, etc. Well, as a recruiter,
Correct.
if I didn't like a resume or resume is
Reject.
not, it's gone.
The next
Right?
one. You have so
Yeah,
many.
yeah. As a recruiter, I try to find the defects like in the resume, what the candidate doesn't have.
See, because when there are thousands of applicants, hundreds of applicants, you know you will be able to find at least one suitable person, and it may not be like the perfect person or whatever. No one
Yeah.
has that. But
Yes.
you know that if you have so many applicants, you will be able to find someone who will fit the criteria, right? I remember initially when I used to look at resumes, it used to take a long time. But now I am a lot more like, just don't make those mistakes. If
Yeah.
you format it properly, if you use the normal amount of information,
Yeah.
why do you have a 15-page resume, 10-page resume? Why
Yeah.
are you including the fact that you played volleyball in high school or something? Like, I don't care. Anyway, carry on. Yeah, you were saying.
Yeah, and here it's a reverse to what I have done before. Here I tell them what is the benefit of writing this? Why should you write like this? What are the skills that you need to apply? So it's like relearning for me how to apply those skill set even in my resume as well. I'm understanding why there should be objective, why there should be a summary. Only one page resume. So it's like before I used to not even think like, okay, this resume doesn't have the skill set that is required for the job. That's it. It's not selected. That's all I used to think.
It's like when I'm looking at a student and now I have to think, okay, fine, they have certain deficiencies or whatever. How do we get them admitted? Right? That is the
Yeah.
goal here, right? How do we make sure
Yeah.
that they
Yeah.
reach somewhere where they're going to be successful? Because it's very
Yes.
easy to
Yes.
look at a student and be like, नहीं हो पाएगा. But on the other hand, the challenge is when you see a student and you're thinking, okay, fine, the student has potential.
But
What do we do next?
yeah,
How do we
exactly.
maximize that potential?
Yeah.
They're very, very different. You're right.
Yeah. I've been working for those roles like from August 23 and one of the role ended in May 24. And for the upcoming semesters, I'm still looking for jobs and I'm actively applying for part-time as well along with my internship. And currently I'm working as a PM intern, which started.
Where are you working?
I'm working as a product management intern at GE Vernova for its Rochester facility. So I'm supporting their grid solution business for now.
What does the company
And
do?
so it's under renewable energy. GE is the parent company. GE has different business segments: GE Aerospace, GE Healthcare, and third division is GE Vernova. They started mostly towards generating the renewable energy, and they have different departments like wind department. So I'm very new to the team, just knowing. I mean, like I'm very new to the industry as well, because the industries that I've worked before are like towards technology front. This is completely towards renewable energy side. Please go
How
on.
was the selection process?
So I started applying through LinkedIn for my internships, and the similar way I
Your
found
best
one
friend.
of the job. Yeah, my best friend. I had a telephonic interview, including both tech and behavioral rounds. That's all. The process was very smooth and very
Relatively
easy,
straightforward.
quick, very quick. Also, the response rate was very quick.
And how many other places would you have applied to?
I have been applying from August 23 for summer internships. So I don't want to say any specific number,
But lots.
but imagine, because
Yeah, yeah.
as soon as an
That's fine.
application comes, we need to
You
apply.
apply. Have you found out anything, learned anything throughout the application process for internships as well? What to do, what not to do?
Just keep trying. Never give up. Never give up. It's a very hard journey. Even if it is like full time jobs or internships, the job market, like people might be telling job market is bad. It's fine. Have some self motivation. If you're feeling extremely demotivated, just go around, talk to your faculty, talk to your career teams, get connected with people on LinkedIn, and see the ways how you can invest more on your resume. So it's fun actually. It's tiring, but it's fun. Just think, you are getting a job and you're planning for how to get a job. You know you will get a job, but plan for it. Like, what industry do you really like? Are there any new industries? Are there any new companies? Okay, what companies are looking for new candidates?
It's kind of like you have to put yourself in that recruiter's shoes where they should look at you and think, okay, this is someone who we can visualize being part of the company.
See, I would definitely, though I have recruiter experience or recruitment experience, I never thought as a recruiter so far in my journey. Okay, let me talk about product management. So, we'll be mostly working on developing the products that has advanced form of AI technology. So you should
Oh,
have it understanding of AI also. I got to know just by viewing some of the job descriptions, and also when I was interacting through to product managers already in the market, this is what they told me. So know about it. If it is interesting for you, there are few conferences that happens. Go to that conferences. If you are not able to afford for the tickets, ask your college if they can fund you or provide you some sponsorship. When you attend such networking events, interact with the people who are already in the market in one certain designation. I would strongly believe when people know that you are passionate about something, they will definitely give you the insights about it if they know it. So you're not asking help, you're not asking job, just asking some insights. Who doesn't do that? Like at least 100%, 99% would be 99% people would be happy to do that. And there are a few platforms like TopMate where you can schedule a call with the people. Like if I'm looking for a role within data engineering, connect with people who are in the data engineering through TopMate. There are few free calls also. You can talk, you can take guidance from them and enter. Yeah. And
got
in
it.
future, if you are looking for a job, if they want to refer you, or you can ask certainly.
But first, it's always better to ask for advice or insights rather than,
Yeah, that's what.
being from a one track job oriented mindset rather than that.
Exactly,
Like personal development, passion, expressing those things is far better in the earlier
Yeah.
stages. But
Yeah.
sorry, the question what I was going to ask was that so one of the things that was really great about Ivy was that you were able to get those mentors who were really invested in your journey. During your MBA, have you felt that you had some kind of mentorship guidance as well?
Yes, like my career advisors team or the managers, like in the career team that I worked with. Also, the professor under whom I worked as a graduate assistant, they were the key people I would rely on. I would say they are more like a family figure to me. They give me advice on every topic that I have, irrespective of just career or academics. If you're facing any problem here, like in terms of if you're demotivated in your career, talk to them for 5 minutes. It's fine. Tell them this is your situation. So, as a student, when you come here, it's good to interact with faculty, your professors, or with your managers. It doesn't matter whether you're an assistant or whatever it is. People always give you a helping hand or some suggestion that can really makes a difference.
So, getting a little bit to the cultural aspects, like, was it easy or difficult to make friends, new friends, once you got here?
So, in my work front, the people that I work are from very diversified community, but they were very helpful, and I would I wouldn't say like it's hard. I wouldn't say even if it is easy. So it completely depends on your personality sometimes, and certain times people might be just wanted to keep the work friendship till work. They don't want to carry forward.
American culture is a lot that depth of personal interaction. It takes a while to get there. You can't be one of the things that my one of my other guests talked about was that, like, even if it is something as simple as, okay, you're making a plan with someone and they're like, okay, I'm not available, and you ask a question like, okay, why, what are you doing at that time? That might be something which they might not like. They're like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm not available. That's my business, what I'm doing. Like, I need to tell you only whether I'm available or not available. Why are you telling me?
Yeah.
Counter questioning, right? If in India, the people will ask you that. Like, like,
Oh,
okay,
that.
what else are you doing? ऐसा क्या कर रहा है उस दिन? Again, it's one of those sort of things where you have to keep figuring out at what stage is it
Yeah.
something where people feel comfortable doing that. So yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
in terms of your personal experience, did you have any cultural experiences or smaller interactions where you felt, okay, this is something that is completely different?
So I didn't expect here the people are extremely kind. They are happy for you. They are genuinely happy for you. They are very honest. They are very genuine. They are very caring as well. They are not judgmental. And like as you know, when I was talking initially about typical Indian, thus either engineering or medicine. Here I
Hmm.
see people are exploring creativity. They are into arts. They are into different kinds of programs or courses that I have never heard about. So
Did you get a chance to interact with other students from other departments?
I interacted with a couple of them. One of my friend is doing HCI, Human Computer Interaction
Yeah, yeah.
program, and
So
I've
that's a
also
pretty good program at RIT.
yeah,
One of the
yes,
best HCI programs.
yes.
Within MBA, which classes have you felt that why is not going anywhere?
Finance, accounting. Question in there. I'm a very bad math student and still can't understand like finance.
So,
So
in your finance classes, I mean, you must have had a little bit of finance and a little bit of
yeah,
accounting, right? Managerial accounting, financial accounting.
yeah.
Do you feel that comfort with that now that you've built like a proper base with the MBA?
I can understand, but definitely if you ask me to take up a career, I
No, of
won't.
course not. Of course not. Of
Yeah,
course
I get that now. Like what is balance sheet? Like
not.
yeah, I can understand how finance works, like why finance is important in every organization. But trust
Mm.
me, I haven't applied to one finance internship role in 1 year. So far, entrepreneurship coursework was with me. It helped me in my interview process also at GE Vernova for product management
Mm.
because in the class, like we are given an opportunity to work a project of our interest, any business idea that you have. So it's like developing a business, like developing the business idea, researching about it, and then giving a presentation.
With product management, really what you're trying to do is take ownership of that product
Yeah,
from all
true.
aspects. I don't know if it was you that I was advising regarding product management, way back when I was saying that, see, product management is one of those fields where people from all sides come. Engineering managers,
Yeah.
managers come to product management, MBA comes to product management, pure engineers come to product management, finance people come to product management,
Yeah.
entrepreneurship people come to product management. A lot of people come to product management.
Yeah.
You have to decide what path you choose to get there because it has to be
Yes.
suitable for you. Product management really came about a lot more in 2021. And then since then, of course, you have a lot more focused sort of certificate programs and that kind of thing as well.
True.
It's still a developing sort of field for sure. So, what is to look forward to in the? I mean, are you going to complete the internship completely in the summer and then plan to visit India, or just stay in the US the entire summer?
No, I recently started my internship in summer. So I'll be finishing it in December 24 itself. And simultaneously, I'm taking a few courses.
You're basically enrolled and then you've got the internship as well. So pretty busy, I'm sure.
And I have two more to finish, which I need to opt it for fall. And that's it. I'm done with the program. And yes, I'm open again for full time
Of course.
after
Of
December.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to. And considering, what we have learned about you, you will start applying very quickly in August or something like
I
that.
hope. I'm still working on my resume. Yeah.
So one of the things that you expressed a passion for and wanted to talk about as well is the aspect of women in education. Um, Anything you would like to mention regarding that?
So I would say one thing. We all have something in us, some power. If you want to do it, you will be able to do it. And I saw, especially women after a certain age, like especially after 25, though they are interested in pursuing their education or career,
Mm,
they step back just
mm.
because of the societal norms that you need to get married, you will have additional responsibility. I would strongly feel it's okay if you love to study about something or if you love to work, express that, strive for it, work for it. Age should not be a barrier to transform your career, and it's okay to take risks. So don't stick to some norms like just get the job, whatever is good in the market, or something like that. Don't stick to it. If you love it, just work for it. Things will happen. They might test you, they might not happen immediately.
Everyone is on their own path. Like you started from engineering, got
Yeah.
into a space where you thought about the strategic and brand aspects of advertising. From there, somehow, we're going towards product management. So that's it's an interesting trajectory,
Yeah,
right? So that possibility of transformation is definitely there if you have the passion for it. But you have to keep discovering that passion. You have to keep trying to understand how you will spend, 8 to 9 hours in your day. Like that's the basic question that you have to answer. I think one of the questions that I do like to ask towards at the very end of the podcast is like, what pieces of bad advice have you received? But you know, I think we kind of covered that with your previous application process. That seemed like bad advice. See, I mean, like, I don't think anyone misguides people, in general. It's not always bad intent. It is that they are trying to do what they feel is best. So, yeah.
Not just that, Yash. Like, there are advisors who genuinely want to help students, and like, even if it's like 5 minutes, it's fine. But giving that advice which is beneficial for the student, I think those kind of counselors are very less. But trust me, like, I have interacted with like almost 30 to 40 counselors, I believe. The convincing answer when I asked you in my initial call, like MEM, MBA, the way you answered it, like I know this guidance is what I'm looking for. Such guidance, like being upfront, like telling me these are the loopholes in my profile. And you're always upfront. So one of the things that I'll just tell you that, like, let's say I have a junior counselor on my call, and they're attending the call and they're watching the call, and the call finishes with the student. And the junior counselor asks me, okay, what do you think? And like, whatever I think, I said it on the call. It's not like I'm telling the student something differently. And I'm telling you something differently. Oh, this is the sales strategy or whatever that I'm. No, whatever I had in mind, I told the student on the call, that is what you have to learn. You have to understand that whatever information I thought that would be helpful to the student, I have given that student the information. And then we move on from there. We whatever I felt on the call, I said it. There's nothing to add, or even if there might be like a polite way to say it or a less polite way to say it, telling people something unrealistic about their profile or giving some harsh reality or giving some motivation to someone who's demotivated. All those things are part and parcel of the process. It should not be like that you say something on the call and then you hang up and you say something completely different. Might be painful, definitely beneficial because it helped me a lot. And I'm pretty sure it will help the students as well. They might not realize it immediately, but maybe in the later future. Yeah. If you have that mentorship from the very beginning, it's definitely helpful. Any advice that you would like to give for the students? One thing I would say is research. Uh, just find what program you want to go in, like what is the job that you want to work for in the future. See which colleges are good in delivering such programs. Take a list, see the ranking of the colleges, see the website, everything, like what courses they are offering, how this college course is different from the other courses. talk to people in the LinkedIn. Students are available on the LinkedIn. Send them a connection request.
You are now in the situation where you are, an MBA student. If a LinkedIn request comes to you, what would make you inclined to reply to it or think that, oh, this is someone that I would like to help out?
So definitely sending just a request is not helpful. Add a note. Say that you are looking for this program. You're interested to learn about this program. That's enough. I think you can only send a 180 words when you are
You're
sending
the
an
LinkedIn
invite.
expert. You tell me.
No, I think so because I've used Premium few days ago. So, but still, when you are sending an invite to the recruiter, add a note. Don't say I want a job. I'm connecting with you. No, talk to them like you are interested to know about the company. You are interested to learn about XYZ position. What do you want to know in that position? If it is for PM, right? You are interested in learning about the product they are working on. Something that makes them feel okay. It's fine to give 5 minutes of my time to them and connect with them.
You should be outcome oriented, basically. Think about what job you want to do, think about the
Yes.
path you will take to get there, that
Yes,
kind of
yes,
thing.
and make a list of colleges. Have your research instead of not just asking the counselors. If you have any interest, tell them also that you are interested in these kind of universities. Ask their guidance, genuine guidance, like what their thoughts, but never ever just blindly follow a list and then apply. Don't do that. Do your research before coming, and after getting an admit also do a research why that university and connect with the students studying there.
Yeah, definitely. Are your parents more supportive now of your MBA?
Yeah, they are happy and very much supportive now. And like they got to know that but an internship, they are happy about it. And like my loan process was very, very stressful. I got sanction of the loan, but the money was not disbursed. So it disbursed after 6 months. But when that's done, they were happy, like, okay, I did it all by myself, and they're little confident. Like, yeah. The initial stages are always tough.
I'm
Yeah.
in that same situation, so yeah.
I know you will do it, and I know they will always remember you because one insight or one guidance can make a huge difference. So yeah, and I know this will be a hit, your new business. Yeah.
Those are very kind words, and thank you so much for that. And thank you so much for your time. Of course, you took time out of your weekend to, do this call and do this podcast.
No, not a problem
I
at
think
all.
I genuinely hope that students will get some kind of understanding that this is someone who has gone through a journey, and if you are also going through a similar journey at a different stage, maybe there is something you can get from someone who's maybe 2 stages later, maybe someone who's 3 stages later, maybe someone who's 10 stages later. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.